Intel has now gotten a new CEO, and this has clearly excited investors. This is something people were waiting for. Some people believed in the old leadership. They were waiting for things to turn around. Clearly, it just was not working. It was time. So now people were just kind of waiting, and then we got what we were waiting for. And over the last 5 days, we see a 30% increase. This is a lot, right? It doesn't seem going from 20 to 25. Doesn't seem like substantial, but when we're talking about smaller stock sizes, going from 20 to 25 is, like I said, very substantial. It's up virtually 30% it is up 30% over the last 5 days. So this has excited investors, but why has it done so? Well, the new CEO is experienced, has done very well with companies. I think from what I read, Variance Venture Capital has a lot of technology experience and some semiconductor experience as well. That is very good. But more than just that, leadership is so incredibly important in a company. It just is. Now, there's things that are very important as well. What industry you're in, how much competition you have, what's your moat, with technology, how advanced are you, how far behind are your competitors, but leadership is one of the most important things. Having a leadership that is smart, makes correct decisions, navigates volatility, when things in the industry aren't doing well. Leadership is and just guides the company forward and makes leadership is so important. You can put amazing leadership in average companies, average industries, and you can do phenomenal. I can think of many off the top of my head. Something like, I think it's Sprouts. Is that what it is? I don't know. Let's make sure. Am I freaking crazy? Yes. It's basically a Whole Foods, right? And you were stagnant forever, right? You IPO'd 2013 at 37, and then up until, I think leadership changed somewhere around 2020, 2019, and basically from that low in 2019, you just have done incredible. And all it really is leadership. Leadership is like imagine a Whole Foods, like healthy grocery store. Is that a great industry? Well, no, there's competition, there's larger competition, there's so many retailers, there's no margin in it, but you can still do phenomenal if you have good leadership. So leadership is really what Intel's been missing alongside other things. So it's really exciting to see this. Now, if you're watching this video, probably the majority of you are really interested in Intel. So probably a number of you already own shares. You probably are excited about this. You bought in already. If you're someone who is skeptical, maybe a little interested by the idea of new leadership in Intel, obviously the revenue's there, the profit isn't, the growth isn't. But I've covered it before on this channel. They do a lot of revenue, and if they were just half as profitable as AMD, they would be significantly higher than where they are today, like 2 to 3x. So there is upside in this. Now, I'm not someone who is invested in Intel. I think the leadership prior did just a very poor job, in my opinion. I think that's pretty clear. They're in a tough spot with NVIDIA doing incredibly well. Obviously, they're a little bit different in AMD being the largest competitor that's been doing very well, certainly from where they were bankrupt nearly a decade ago. So it's a tough spot for Intel. But like I said, the revenue's there if they can turn things around. If you told me, okay, you have to buy shares in this, like I said, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, at least at this point with new leadership. But I think there is a very good chance one of two things happens, right? When we factor in the current market, which is looking not particularly hot, and we factor in the chance that the excitement off the new CEO dissipates. I mean, if we zoom in here, I mean, how many times over the last 6 months have we gone back down to below 20? Right? We were, what is that, back in December, middle December, then we hit 21, then we went back again, high 19s, then we went all the way up, then we went back down again to 20. I think the odds that if you really wanted to buy into the stock, you didn't own any. I think there's a very good chance, like I said, between the market not doing great. I mean, this was the fall from, you can see here, they're tech, right? They are. And they're going to move like tech. So this was when the fall, just with Intel, they happened to spike up. They got some hype right before the market started turning, but this is when the market started turning. They fell just as much. They actually fell more than the average company, right? Falling from 30 or 27 all the way to 19. I mean, like I said, just going up to 26 is a 30% jump. So Doing some math there, that's a 35% fall. The S&P 500 fell 9%. So if we enter a bear market, people are out on Intel. So I don't know, let's be conservative, right? Let's say there's a 30% chance, let's say 35% chance we enter a bear market. So we're saying 65% chance we don't, right? But then we say a 20 to 25% chance that there's some hype that dies down around the CEO versus just keeps running up higher. I'm not a trader, guys. I'm not. I don't know all these things. But if you're asking me what I would do, I think there's a 60+% chance that we go below 22 within the next 3 months. I think it's very, very likely with Intel. I think if you're a swing trader, this is probably a very fun stock to do that with. I don't know. I do not trade. But if you're an investor, I cover investing on this channel. I think this is a stock that you can probably get in cheaper right here. And I don't know, we'll see what the future has. There's also a very good chance that Intel gets bought out or some portions of it gets bought up. Maybe it splits its founder business. We do not know. There's lots of speculation. It's a whole ordeal. There's a lot going around with Intel. There's upside, but you also have to factor in the downside as well, guys. They really have not done much as a company. Going back from 98. Yes, you got a dividend during this time period. But there is a lot that's been left to be desired over the last nearly 30 years from Intel. So, obviously, past results do not predict the future, but we don't really have much to go off of other than past results. You're in a good industry for semiconductors, a good market for semiconductors. There's a lot of demand. They can turn things around. There's a bunch of upside. Look at Dell, right? Let's look at Dell real quick. Dell is what you are hoping for with I almost said a Microsoft and Intel. They've done very well. They were almost in a worse position. Look, they're up 552% over the last 5 years, and they haven't even hit their peak. I still believe there's some upside with Dell. This is what you're looking at. If Intel can turn things around, but there's absolutely no guarantee of it. That's the risk you are betting on. There's upside there, but please don't just, new leadership, or just going to the moon, everything's going to be perfect. There's a lot to do there, and it's probably going to be a rocky ride before you see something like this occur. But anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. If you enjoy, like and subscribe. I do daily stock content on this channel. I'll catch you next time.